Welcome to The Sugar Show, an inspirational podcast for savvy body sugaring professionals and those who are curious and want to learn to sugar. Have you felt alone on this journey of learning to sugar? Did you feel like you didn't learn enough in your company's certification class and are hungry for more? Are you craving more ideas on how to grow your business? Or what the latest products are you can use on your clients along with sugaring? Here's your host and guide for all things sweet, Shannon, the Sugar Mama. She's an esthetician, author, speaker, mom, sugar biz owner, and most importantly, a sugar professional, just like you. She helps estheticians all over the world not only learn to sugar, but to build their skills and confidence so they can not only set themselves apart, but provide the most amazing experience for their clients. In each Sugar Show, you are going to get help and inspiration, not only from Shannon, but from her very favorite colleagues who are doing amazing things that you should know about. This is The Sugar Show.
Hello and welcome back. It's my girls from ASCP on this episode, Tracy, Donley, and Emily Morgan. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. They were dancing to our intro there. Yeah. We're going to have some fun today because, you know, insurance is fun, right?
Super fun, yes. Yeah.
Well, the reason why I brought them on, besides the fact that they're dynamic humans, and this will be a really fun show, I'm just saying, but also because I spent some time with them recently, and we'll talk about that. But let's introduce you officially. I have Tracy Donley here. She is the Executive Director of ASCP. Hi, Miss Tracy.
Hello.
And I have Emily Morgan. She is the Membership Program Manager.
Hi.
And not only that, but she is an esthetician. And tell us what you got going on, Miss Emily.
We have a lot going on all the time. So yeah, my name's Emily and I'm the Membership Program Manager at ASCP. I'm also a esthetician. I have my license in 2 states. So I originally got my license in Massachusetts and I worked there in a salon for a little while and of course was an ASCP member.
Yes, I love it.
Yay! And then I recently moved to Colorado a couple years ago, and so I have my license here now, and now I am working for the company that I loved so much as a working esthetician.
It was all meant to be.
I
it was
love
like
that.
a diabolical plan. I hunted her down. I saw her resume come in, and I know that she had actually, this is so crazy, she had actually taken another job, and I stalked her. I was like calling her every 5 minutes and like, why, you need to come in. What's happening? You need to come talk to me. We need you here.
It's true.
I love that. I love that. That's the way it should be. It's all who you know, right? For sure.
And we have a great team. I mean, so not only amazing Emily, but then also too, you know, we're really like a family over here. So, and you know, other estheticians, we have a director of education from aesthetic schools on our team. We have another esthetician, Jessie Cormier, who I'm sure all of you probably know. She's been part of ASCP forever. We have Maggie Stasek, who, like I said, is a director, used to be a director of a skincare school. And then we have Melissa, who has a very huge background, primarily in makeup, but then also too had a long stint with Dermalogica. So we've got really a great team here.
You know, I can attest to that because Shauna Rocha and I, for those of you in the audience, we actually went out and did some video shoots in Denver last month. And, you know, I have been a member actually for about 18 years now. Oh, we should have a party. And when I first started out, I would, you know, write my check for this insurance that I didn't even know if I needed because, you know, I would never hurt anyone. And I wrote my check, and there were years, honestly, where I literally like had to scratch to make sure that I could find the money because, you know, I just didn't have it. It was, you know, when you're first starting out, but I made sure that I protected myself. Again, wasn't sure if I needed it only because I was, you know, such an amazing esthetician.
As everyone is, yes.
Right. But that's, you know, that's what I thought in the beginning. And I thought that it was just that thing, that insurance that I got that just protected myself. And over the years, I've really come to find this transformation of ASCP, or maybe it's my transformation in tandem with it because I was more aware. But when I went to your offices, I was blown away. First of all, it's a giant office building. It's not this little spot that you write your checks to and, you know, The offices are amazing, and the staff was dynamic and helpful. And the more we started talking about all that you offer, I mean, this is not just a little insurance program anymore. We're grown up.
We're all grown up. Yeah, it's amazing. And I think that's the thing that I wish every single one of our members would know, because there's such a plethora of things that we offer. And I'd be thrilled to go through a couple of those with you.
Yeah, please do, because it really is more than just insurance. Like, help them to understand what they would get with their membership.
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's the best insurance you can get out there. And I just want to always remind everybody that it is just not professional liability insurance in the fact that, let's say you injure someone during a service. It is more than that. It's product liability insurance. So if you recommend a product for at-home care and they have any kind of reaction, that is, you're covered for that. So, and if also too, if they walk into the treatment room and there happens to be, something on the floor and they trip and fall, you're covered for that too.
Under the general.
Yeah, under the general liability. So that's the thing. It's so much more. I mean, you can plan, right, to do everything right, be highly trained, and things can go wrong, so.
Oh, you never know.
Right. You just never know.
You never know. I mean, it could even be your fault, and people can find fault with you, nowadays. So just protecting yourself is so great. And do you have other kind of add-on, I know you have add-on insurance packages that you can.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So we have, in addition to our kind of like the personal professional liability insurance that's protecting the esthetician themselves, we expand a little bit past that. And so we also offer business personal property insurance. And so that can be for if there's a fire or a flood, or if somebody breaks in and steals your products, steals equipment and things, this stuff is expensive, and that should happen. And you just find yourself, you don't want to be out of grand, 20 grand out of pocket. I mean,
you actually don't know this, but my very first day spa that I owned in Lake Tahoe, we had trouble with snow, snow, and the pipes were actually above my building, and the pipes froze and then burst. And ASCP actually helped me to recover some of that damage. It was pretty substantial. I mean, we were literally up to our calves in water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really scary because, I mean, it would have been the end of my business. I would have been done had I not gotten assistance.
And it's just such a relief to know that if you have this insurance for both yourself and for your business, I mean, when those things do happen, it's just so much less stress off of you. You know that you can call into us and we'll take care of it. We walk you through every step of the process.
I think that's the best part, is that if any of these horrible things happen, you have a friend, right? You've got a person who is going to take care of you and walk you through it. And it's not like, oh God, where do I go now? Oh, do I go online to my insurance provider and post something and ask for someone to come
fill in a form? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a great question, because I think that no one ever thinks it will happen to them, but I'm hoping that they will remember this episode and say, I remember what she said, in the middle of kind of their own crisis, if they have one.
Yeah.
So if a client contacts you and says, oh, I've had a reaction, or, oh, I think I slipped out in front of your place, or whatever it is, I have two questions for you. A, what do you say to them? And B, how do we get in touch with you? At what point do we do that? So how do you make sure that you chat with a client? Because you don't want to say too much, but you don't want to, what is the right thing to say to someone who comes in pretty angry?
Yeah.
So for the person, for the esthetician, if they're speaking to a client, I mean, it's really.
Well, we always recommend, there's a few things. So we recommend, first of all, don't admit fault, right?
Yeah, right?
You can be very empathetic and very heartfelt in your delivery, but you don't want to admit faults. You don't want to offer, I know this sounds so crass, but you don't want to offer to pay for their medical bills, even if they ask you. The most important thing is that you document everything that happened. And I think the big part is that, when estheticians, they have a pretty good sense for if someone is leaving their treatment room, probably not skipping and jumping, saying, yay, that was the best experience of my life. And maybe sense that something wasn't the perfect service, that you should always document. Take the notes. It doesn't matter if it's on a piece of scratch paper, just tuck it away. It doesn't have to be perfectly typed up. But if it is even after the fact, definitely after you talk to that person, write it all down. Everything that they said, everything that you can remember while it's fresh.
Great advice.
Make sure if you come up with another thing that you're thinking about, date that one, write that down. It is just as much information as possible. And the interesting thing is a lot of times, these types of, especially if it's going to escalate into a really big suit, a lot of times they do not report it the next day or even the next month.
A summons just comes to your door one day.
Exactly.
And it could be months later, and some of those finer details might be lost if you don't immediately write it down or immediately call us and let us know what happened.
Yeah, because it's not going to hurt your coverage. Just to let us know, hey, document this. I have a concern. We are on your side. We are here to protect you no matter what. We're your advocate. And also with membership, if something unfortunately would be to happen, we also appoint attorneys for you. So you don't have to like go out and worry about this. They do all of it, and they'll just contact you as needed, so you can actually still have a career and conduct business and make a living, so that's how we try to support our estheticians that way.
And that's what we tell people over the phone too, because we get these questions a lot from people who just signed up, like what happens if I do, something does happen. And the one thing that we want to make sure that they don't do is, take the worry out of the situation. So what I always tell, estheticians that I have over the phone is, if you're nervous about a situation that has just happened, call us and tell us about it. Give us all the details. Let us know the date and time of the service. Let us know, send in your receipts, send in as much information as you can, because if it does come to be something, then we already have it. We're good to go. We're ready to move forward. But if nothing does happen, then great.
And it doesn't hurt you. Like, I think a lot of times people think, well, I don't want to say anything because maybe that'll like put a little red flag by my name or what have you. It doesn't. It's not like that. We're here to protect you. We've got your back.
Oh, I love that, because I think sometimes people resort to like their Facebook groups. What do I do? No. Call the girls at ASCP. They got you covered.
Yeah.
They've got your back. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just so nice to know that you're on our side, because nobody ever intends on hurting anyone or having anyone get hurt.
And the thing is that we're not the insurance company, which I know can be a thing for some people, being like, oh, I've dealt with car insurance agents before and they're just out to get my deductible or whatever it is. And ASCP, there's no hidden fees, there's no surcharges, there's no nothing. We are not the insurance company, we're just the liaison. So we are, it's safe to talk to us. We encourage you to talk to us, and we're here to just support your career.
Yeah.
And make sure
well, on that note, let's talk about all of the other ways that you support our career, because you are the liaison. That's a really great point. You aren't the insurance company. Some people probably think that you are.
Right. Yeah.
You are, again, I wrote my check thinking that, you were my insurance, right? Yeah. But you aren't. But what you do is so much more. So talk about those other things that people can have access to.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that people think about the most is probably our award-winning Skin Deep magazine that members get. Yep, 6 times a year.
Skin Deep magazine all over our walls.
Yeah, so I think that is a great member benefit. I really feel that we curate amazing contributors to the magazine. It's the industry experts. If estheticians can't get to the trade shows to see some of these industry experts speaking, the neat part is we do videos, technique videos, like the industry expert that we have here with us right now.
Who could that be?
Yes. But, I want to say thank you. I'll just throw this out there. I want to say thank you for including sugar. And because, forever it's been waxing. And thank you for including sugar and really stepping out and setting yourselves apart and educating the beauty industry on sugaring, because that's why we did it and that's why you ask us to come, is to really, you don't know everything, you can't know everything, but you bring in contributors to like really help estheticians be intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would probably even put just a little thumbtack in that, because there's something we need to talk about with that aspect and just sugaring versus waxing. So promise me we'll get back to that.
Okay.
But some of the other things that we offer, which I'm really excited about, is career toolkits. So this just launched, I think it was in March. And what career toolkits are is basically your one-stop portal for whatever your career looks like, whatever stage you're in the journey, right? So maybe you are an employee and you want to be the best employee you can be, or you're looking for a job from an employer. That portal has everything in there to get you there, step by step. And it will be articles, it is podcasts, it is videos, it is templates. So everything all in one spot. And then the best part is it also has compensation calculator in there. So I haven't seen this anywhere else in the industry, because compensation can be really challenging when you go in as an employee. So a lot of times they'll say, oh, you can make $50,000 a year. And you're like, that's perfect. I want to make $50,000 a year. But what they're not telling you is, here's what your hourly rate is. Here is how much commission you're going to have to make, or here's how much retail you're going to have to sell to get to that $50,000, or here's how many services you're going to need to perform. So what this calculator does is it lets you go in and manipulate those different pieces of the puzzle that make up your entire compensation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, like we just actually did a daily dip today. ASCP does a daily dip on Instagram. And it was all about, like, usually at this time, at the end of the year, we will typically say to ourselves, or the beginning of the year, we'll say to ourselves, oh my God, I should have made so much more money than I did. Yeah. Like, this isn't working for me, right? Yeah. So this is a perfect time to go and do that check-in. And then in the business startup portal within Career Toolkits, if you are a sole proprietor or starting your own business, there is also a potential revenue calculator. And what that allows you to do is see how many services you get to enter in, all the different services that you offer. So for instance, let's say it's sugaring in the brow, sugaring the lip, sugaring the face, Brazilian, whatever it is, you're going to go in and put all those different services in there with all the different costs. And then you get to kind of figure out how many of those you're performing each week. And it kind of breaks it all down then into this annual, gross revenue point of view. So it might even, and then it also you have the opportunity to add in retail into that too, so that you can kind of see what your retail is. So it really puts you in the driver's seat when it comes to your career.
And it's great to use to set your own goals and things. So if you're not hitting those marks, you can use this calculator and all of these inputs and things to set your own goals, whether you want that to be weekly or monthly, whatever you feel like you need to do, you can do it there. It's really,
and it's so tactile. It's not like just sitting there and like watching only a video or watching, listening to a podcast. It's everything all in one. And then you can like read an article and go, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to add that part of the service, or I should charge more for this service, blah, 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 so it's all right there. But I think that's the thing I'm just the most excited about, because ultimately, the whole goal for ASCP, right, is that we want to ensure that estheticians have a long, fruitful career, right? We want you to not be in the industry for 2 years. We want you to be in the industry for 20 years or more. We want you to be the best you can be. So you'll kind of see when we talk about sort of the benefits besides insurance, it's like it's the underlying thing with everything. So some of the other things too, besides Career Toolkits, we offer a URL, a classy URL. So it's not like, hotpants@aol.com, you get that free with membership. And then you also get a website, which comes with a variety of templates. We just are getting ready to refresh those. They should be refreshed in the next 30 days. And then we have matching what we call marketing bundles. And those are all of your customer supporting marketing materials. So like, your reminder cards, your gift certificates, your reward cards, like come and get this many Brazilians and then you get one free, that kind of stuff. But it matches your social media then, because we have social media images too. It matches your website, it matches everything. So we give you like a complete marketing kit to start your business.
Okay, and that would cost so much to put that all together individually. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. Again, I'm over here with my mouth drop. I'm like, I didn't know you had all that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to use that.
Yeah.
We need to do a master class with you on some business.
We should.
Building. Yeah.
We should, because it's basically like if you're starting your business, we have all the tools like treatment forms. We have a whole library worth of social media memes. So you can be in front of your clients on a regular basis, like in social media. So you don't even have to think about it.
You don't have to be a graphic designer or hire one.
Yeah.
You have ASCP.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So we're just always trying to create everything we possibly can to make it just a no-brainer for you just to go out for $259 and make it happen. Use your gift. We'll do the marketing and make sure you're protected.
I love that. I love your team. You're dynamos. It's fantastic.
I love it too.
I do have a few questions because there are a lot of people that are listening to this show that are actually employees and they're not necessarily maybe either ready to start their own business. Maybe they're not interested. They kind of have a beautiful space to work in, but they want to be the most amazing employee they possibly can, because honestly, I think that there's so many benefits to being an employee, and running your own business is a whole different beast. So give us a couple tips for those folks in the audience that are actually employees and how they can work with you.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing I would say is they always ask, well, do I really need insurance? You're like, my employer is covering me, right? And I'm gonna tell you a couple of questions that you need to make sure you're asking your employer, and then I'm gonna tell you a quick, tiny, like a 5-second story. So the first question you need to ask your employer is, am I covered if my client sues me individually? So what that means is a lot of times if there is a suit that happens, an attorney, pretty much every time, will go after the business, but they're also going to go after you personally.
They're going to go after whoever
anyone
they
can. Yeah, they might even go after the building owner.
Yep.
So that's why it's really important that you understand what their policy looks like. Because if the policy only is covering the business and they go after you individually, then you will be responsible for whatever those damages are.
You need your name on their policy.
So the other thing is, does my employer cover every treatment I'm doing? A lot of times, employees will start with someone and then they'll be there for a couple of years, and the next thing you know, they're like, hey, let's advance our treatment offerings, our service offerings, and now we're going to start doing IPL. And I want you to do this. Well, do you know if IPL is covered in their insurance policy? A lot of times, especially those bigger insurance policies that are for spas and things of that nature, they don't cover those unique treatments. So you want to make sure that it's definitely covered.
And there's some, insurance companies that aren't necessarily even specific to
Or
the skincare aesthetic community. They just serve anyone who's willing to cut them a check. And so a lot of those big policies, they don't even cover things like Brazilians.
No.
Which is nuts, because that is such a huge major part of
hair removal.
To not have that be covered, especially if that's the most frequent service that you're doing, is scary.
So you cover SugarPros.
Right.
Of course we
do. We cover SugarPros. Of course we do. We love sugar.
Of course you do.
And then is there, the other thing is relying on your employer to make sure that they're current and that they've got their together. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they paying their policy on time? Has it expired? Did they renew it? So that's a big one too. And I think the biggest is, do you only practice in those 4 walls of that business? Do you work on your friends and family outside that business? Do you, and if you are doing that, then you're not covered. So the good thing about an ASCP policy is it's going to cover you wherever you go. You could go to, to the next city over and, with doing mobile sugaring, and you're covered. So it doesn't matter.
And I think that's especially important for new estheticians as well. I know that when I first started, I had to work. I was essentially working 3 aesthetic jobs all at the same time. I was working at 2 different salons and, working for myself so that I could make myself, a 40, 50 hour work week to pay my bills. And so if I was only covered under one roof, that doesn't cover the 2 other roofs that I'm working under. And so having something like ASCP where I'm just like, oh, wherever I go, my insurance is following me. Yeah, they're with me. Yeah, which is really important.
Okay. So another quick story is we had a member tell us that she had been practicing for years and she was more in a med spa scenario. So she had a medical director and she was operating a laser that was all appropriate in the state of Colorado. And she had an incident where she burned one of her clients accidentally. So she, of course, went to her medical director and said, hey, this happened. She's got medical bills, we need to cover this. And he's like, he kind of looked at her like, my insurance doesn't cover you. It's my malpractice. Like, you're not covered. And so thank goodness she was able to, she ended up having to do some fine dancing with her client and she had to pay $14,000 out of pocket for the medical bills to cover that. But she immediately then joined ASCP because, she needed to make sure that that wasn't ever going to happen. So a lot of times people are out there thinking they're covered by their medical director or they're covered by their employer and they're not. So, and why not for $259? I mean, it's go and get all these resources.
Better than 14 grand.
Yeah, and you're getting marketing material, marketing everything for free. So
well, and then if you're in the Sugar Tribe, then you even get a discount on your ASCP membership. Right. I'm just saying.
Yes, you do. Get in that Sugar Tribe, girls.
My Sugar Tribers, they get extra special discounts and special treats.
Yes, they do.
So tell me, what are the most common claims, like maybe the top 2 claims that you get through your insurance?
Okay, well, before, I know she gets really excited to talk about those. Before she says that, just to let you know how much accidents do really happen out there, that we have approximately 250 open claims every month. So
every month?
Every month. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of those 250, unsurprisingly, a majority of them, about 28% of them, so more than a quarter, are hair removal claims. And so that is including sugaring, it's including waxing, it includes Brazilians. I mean, Brazilians really take up a majority of that chunk.
How many of those are sugaring? Do you have specific sugaring claims?
It's a teeny percentage.
That doesn't surprise me.
1% of that 28%. So
it is.
And I hate to put you on the spot because I know you have a lot of amazing waxers out there, but I know, and that's what we're trying to educate, is that there's a lot less risk when you sugar the right way.
Yeah.
So I kind of walked you into that corner because I know that it's a safer way and there's less risk. So thank you.
Right. And that's the thing is that a lot of these claims are associated with, the wax being too hot or leaving it on too long or for too little even. And so there's a lot of issues.
Or it not being sterile because you're double dipping.
So a lot of those issues do come with hot wax and with strip wax, whereas with sugar, a lot of those elements are gone, removed from the situation. Yeah. That's not to say that, sugaring professionals shouldn't be properly trained. We do shockingly get some calls of people that are like, hey, I want to do sugaring. I just want to make sure it's covered, but do I need training or can I just do it? And we're like, yeah, please get training.
Yes, please get training. And by the way, guess what? We have a discount from the Sugar Mama.
Yes, for iSugarU to learn.
Yeah, iSugarU.
Yeah, and that really is a great point because no matter what you do, even if you're just washing someone's face, you could potentially have an issue. You could have sugar on the floor and they step on it and get stuck and trip, you just never know. Mm-hmm. But it does say, it speaks volumes, and that makes me feel good to know that, people are getting trained, they are learning the right techniques, and so they aren't causing as much harm. And that's what we're about, is do no harm. So that's good to know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about 2020. What have you got for give us a little sneak peek of what you got going on in that big old amazing building of yours with that awesome team. What do we got? What can we expect?
Barely even contain herself. She's like,
I got to tell you. Well, of course, we're going to continue to do all these amazing, bringing fresh technique videos and educational videos, at least 2 to 3 new ones every month. Yeah, like you right there. That one will be in January. We're super excited. And there's a series that's going to go along with that. So everybody stay tuned for that. You're going to love it. And then also too, we're really excited. We're going to be doing some more podcasting because I know myself personally, it's really hard to find time to listen to watch a video. So if you can like download it and just take it on the go, well, you know, Shannon,
Yep.
But if you can just take it on the go and listen to it while you're driving to wherever in your alone time, I think that's really helpful. So we're going to do more of that. And then we're going to really start helping you guys out more with scope of practice. So we're going to be putting together some presentations that's talking about really how do you understand your scope of practice, you know, interpreting that. So we'll be working with our legislative team and our attorneys to do that. And then keeping that more updated on the site. Right now we refresh it like once every year and a half about. So we're due for that and we're going to keep that more regular. We're also putting together an amazing legislative toolkit, which is great. Like we, again, want to put all of our estheticians, all of our members in the driver's seat to feel that they are in charge of their career. They are in charge. So how do you understand local government? How do you make a difference in local government? How do you get the word out to your cosmetology or aesthetic board of the things that you want to see and the things that you expect? So we're putting an ebook together for that, and that'll have a presentation as well. So there's just so many amazing things coming down the wire. I mean, that's just a little tiny teases.
I love it. Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Oh,
it really, really is. I mean, like I said, I Shauna and I had an amazing time in Denver, and we literally like flew in, videoed, and flew out. Like I wish we could have spent even more time, and we will in 2020. But really what we've learned is, you know, you're more than just insurance. You are our friend through that, but also, you know, our marketing friend, our, you know, career friend. You really, truly are our team of friends who really are there to make sure that, you know, not only sugaring professionals, but the beauty industry kicks things up a notch. And we are very grateful for you. I can speak from the sugaring industry that we're very, very grateful for you and all that you all are doing. So pat your backs back at that staff meeting because you're killing it. And it's really, really, it's neat to see just businesses taking things to the next level and having it really affect our industry. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving us this platform to chat with you and all your peeps. And we're just so excited. Just if you think of ASCP, all I say is just think of us and think, we got your back. We got you. If you need anything, we've probably created it for you already. And if we haven't, give me a jingle because I will.
Oh, yes, she will. Oh, yeah, they will. It's a whole team for sure. So Sugar Tribers, again, you have a discount for ASCP. So there is absolutely no reason for you to not be a member. I'm telling you, it is more than just a once a year little check. It really is having a partner in crime in this industry. So if you are listening to this and you have not already signed up, then jump into that Sugar Tribe and grab all kinds of education. And we are going to do a masterclass, you guys. We're going to talk about careers and really how to take the career to the next level. I love that idea because Sugar Pros are always looking for business advice. So I'm going to hold you to that. And Sugar Pros, I look forward to seeing you in the next class and hearing all about your great experience with ASCP. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks so much. Bye, guys.